Welcome to the Hank Cisco Show, ladies and gentlemen. Don't touch that dial. We got two representatives from Cole Manor School, and we're going to talk about speech and the whole bit. And not only that, but we have a comedy show coming in from New York City. Okay, and it's going to be a Paisan, all Paisan talk, and it's going to be
about Read Across America.
Reading Across America. Now, what do you mean by Reading Across America?
Okay, Read Across America is a nationwide celebration of reading. It's sponsored by the National Education Association.
Right.
And its purpose is to have every child be read to and experience books to motivate them, to help them with their schoolwork and their major skills in reading, and just for the love of reading, just to enjoy it.
Right.
It's celebrated, I might say, on March 2nd, which is
March 2nd?
Yes, Dr. Seuss's birthday.
Who's Dr. Seuss?
Dr. Seuss is most
I got your
known
buddy here,
for
right?
The Cat in the Hat, and he's written like over 44 different books. Green Eggs and Ham, for instance, is one of the third largest selling books. He uses colorful characters, many of the high-frequency words in reading, so readers, this is a wonderful way for them to get to know those words. Yeah. And we just have a great time celebrating.
What's your title? What do you do in the school district?
I'm a reading specialist.
You're a reading specialist. Mm-hmm. How come you talk with your hands? I'm Italian.
I'm
hey,
Italian.
I'm going, hey, goodbye.
That's my father's coming out.
It's always good, we got a little different signs, So, well, that's great, Hey, I realized, I dropped out of school when I was in, I think, 8th grade, and I didn't think, it was so important, education or reading and all, but then later I joined the police department, and all you needed was an 8th grade education, and I got on the police department, and then I got took some courses, but after I put 14 years in the police department, somebody whispered in my ear, he says, why don't you go to community college, or, well, I didn't have a high school. I took the GED, okay?
Great.
And I got, I failed the first time. I went back, they knocked me down, but I got up,
All right.
And I went in, I got an associate degree in police science, and I didn't like history, and I didn't like English. But after I was in there, you're older, I really appreciate it, And I do a lot of reading now. I can't pronounce all the words. That's one of my problems, But that's why I use my hands,
Yeah.
But now, in this corner, like we say in Madison Square Garden, tell me your name and what you do.
Donna Monastero Haney.
Right.
I'm a paraprofessional for elementary.
Elementary school. Now, you have you're pushing and bobbing and weaving and working on something, and tell me what it's about.
Yes, sir. I am here to promote the Comedy for the Cure, which is going to be held.
Comedy for the Cure.
Comedy for the Cure, yes. It's going to be held on Sunday, March 22nd at 2 o'clock in the afternoon at Eisenhower Middle School on Markley Street in Norristown. And this is an event in memory of my mother, Philomena DeFonso Monastero. She was a Norristown Area School District graduate and also a former employee.
She was an employee of what?
She was in food services.
School district?
Yes, yes.
Was she at Eisenhower?
Yes, she actually worked in all the buildings.
I think I was in the police department when I used to go in there. Right.
You also may have known her. My parents owned 2 luncheonettes in Norristown. One was on Main Street by Fairmount Firehouse, Phil Steaks, and also Brown and DeKalb Street. Right at Brown and DeKalb was Phil Steaks, and I know all
I used to
of
go there when I was in the
Norristown's finest used to come in. Yes,
yes.
yes.
Good coffee. Now,
Absolutely.
and the show we're talking about is the Italian Chicks. Hey.
They're from New York City.
New York City.
Yes.
And they're going to be at where? Eisenhower?
Eisenhower Middle School.
Middle School. And that's on Markley Street and Harding Boulevard, right? Harding Boulevard, right. No, Coolidge Boulevard. Harding Boulevard is, right. Coolidge Boulevard is along Eisenhower.
Yes.
Right. And I got a kick at it. Mary Ann Mazzano. There used to be a fight about it, Boom Boom Mancini, when I boxed in New York, he used to stay at the same room, hotel that I stayed, Boom Boom Mancini. Then he had his son, was also Boom Boom. And I see one of the girls here, something comedy, and she tells a story here when she was growing up, her mother would give her a meatball and a cup of coffee and say, go out and play.
Yes, that's Mary Ann. That is,
Right, and then I had that, Pat Cooper tells a story, or I think it was Pat Cooper, one of them Italian comedians said that a do-to-do, it's like the cardboard, the
Oh, yes.
toilet paper, when the toilet paper all runs out, you have that little cardboard, and you go, do-to-do, and that was a big toy, and that didn't cost too much money. Now they got toys, 150, 250, so whatever. But here's some of the, hey, let me tell you.
an interesting fact about her.
Tell me.
She gave up her 6-figure salary in banking to pursue this dream of forming an all-Italian, all-female comedy team.
How about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so in other words, this show is for the money that comes out of this.
100% of all the proceeds are going to be donated to ovarian cancer awareness and research.
Good, okay. And it's going to be at, what, 2 o'clock in the afternoon?
2 o'clock
at
in the afternoon,
Eisenhower.
a matinee
Now,
show.
tell me something about, now you go back to how important it is. I a little thing that there's no worse enemy, no, there's no better friend than a good book, and another bad friend and bad enemy is a bad book. So reading the right books and the right, I really, I think is something. So what do you do, like, to motivate kids to read today?
Well, it's funny you mention that because most parents, when they ask me questions about how their kids, how to get their kids motivated, I say you have to start with their interests. So if they're interested in sports, then perhaps subscribe to Sports Illustrated for Kids. Start with their interests and then go from there. And secondly, let them see parents read for pleasure. Discuss with a child things that they've read or that might be interesting, and talk about it. Have that conversation. And even from kindergarten to first grade, parents play an instrumental role in this.
Yeah.
To read children, talk about the story, ask questions to make their child understand what is read, and it's very important.
Get back to your mother. She worked at the school. She was a secretary or?
No, she worked in food services.
What was it?
Food services.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Cafeteria.
I remember that. So, and she worked there how many years? She was
She worked there her whole life till the time of her death. She died when she was 40. 1982.
Right,
1982.
And so you're doing this here.
In her honor and to
For her
raise
honor,
awareness,
right.
because I'll
And
tell you
then-
what, Hank, in 25 years, such little progress has been made in this disease
Yeah.
that it is a sin. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
Too many women are dying too young.
Right.
I can give you some statistics
Yes,
on
that
that.
is-
I am an ovarian cancer survivor, 14 years, and 1 out of 57 women.
What do you mean? What kind of survivor?
I had ovarian cancer
What's that?
14 years ago.
I mean, is that what part of the body?
That's a
internal?
woman's ovaries, yes.
The ovaries. Oh, well, hey. I'm a survivor too. I had a prostate,
Okay.
had
God
colon
bless you.
cancer, and
Right. All right.
come on,
Well, anyway,
that's
as
what
Donna
keeps
was,
the thing moving, and
Yes.
I'm still here. I'm 85.
Yes,
The
right.
first time I heard that I went to I was a policeman, I was a motorcycle, and I was a former boxer and all that. I
Right.
was always in pretty good shape, and
yes,
and then when I'd always go to the doctor, get examined, I was okay. And then finally checked me out or something and says, you got cancer. Well,
Yeah.
it hits you.
It
And
does,
say, what do you
absolutely.
do? You get upset, you get mad, why me or something, And I just, okay, I had to look for a good doctor. They said, well, you had to go to Philadelphia. I stayed right here in Norristown, okay? And we got good doctors in Norristown. You don't have to
Yes.
fly
Yes,
to
sir.
Right.
Hong Kong or any place. You can go right around here, and we have good doctors. So, and so then, okay, thank God, I had the colon cancer, took care of that.
Right.
And 4 or 5 years later, and all of a sudden, they got up and, oh, hey, prostate cancer. Okay, let's go.
Right.
And that time, they had to treat it with radiation, okay? So I come out of it. Somebody up there likes me, I
Right,
guess, and they
yes.
keep me around a little
You're
bit. I
very
ran
fortunate.
everybody's hair with,
Yes.
rattling cages, but
Yes.
I'm 100%, to help in any way. And I think what you're doing here, I think is really important. And don't wait until you say, well, so one of my family or one of my close friends get it or so, because you never know when it's going to hit or who it's
Yes.
going to hit. And then it's not, when the doctor tells you that, you have cancer, so it's not a death penalty, We
Not
have
anymore.
advancement.
As long as it's caught early.
Right.
And that's one of the
Right.
main
Right.
things. Early detection
Right.
is critical in this type of cancer. They used to call it the silent killer.
Yeah.
They don't call it that anymore because the medical community has identified certain symptoms, such as severe bloating, pelvic or abdominal pain, difficulty eating, or feeling very full quickly, and some urinary systems and symptoms. And over time, when I think back, when I first had it, like you, I'm a very active person, believe in preventative medical care, did aerobics, ate healthy.
Right.
Ovarian cancer came out of nowhere. I had no family history. Okay, and when I remember back, I did have tremendous bloating. This was in February, and I thought, I must have eaten too many
Was it the
goodies
first time, or-
during Christmas.
You first, the bloating, what?
Yeah, I could not button my pants. I
Okay.
could not, fit into any
And
of
that's
my
how it happened
trousers.
with my mother. She also went to the doctors, and that's why we want women to be aware. Something
aware,
out of the
right.
ordinary suddenly occurs.
Yes.
When in doubt, check it out.
That's
That's
right.
it,
That's right.
that's it.
Don't think it's gas and it'll
Right,
go away in a few
right,
days.
right.
Exactly.
And so you're surviving. You look
Yes,
good.
I am.
Right?
Thank you.
How do I look?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yes,
Thumbs
sir.
up. Right. Okay. But
Yeah.
all right. How did you make contact with the
The Italian
comedy team in New York?
They actually contacted me from seeing my website.
You have a website?
Yes, it's
What is it?
Boardwalk 4, it's the number 4, Cure, CURA.org.
And you.
They actually, yes, because they were also touched. One of their friends has ovarian cancer and is a survivor.
Oh.
And they also are looking to promote awareness. So our paths crossed, thank God. And
Well, that's great.
Yes.
How do you make a contact? I went to a birthday party, and the lady was from Mexico or one of the islands or something. And there was a Mexican mariachi band. And they were going, well, I think there's 2 violins, 2 and a trumpet, whatever. I think there's 6 of them.
Right.
And I went over, boy, they're really good. I went over to him, I says, how about coming to my show? And I said, where you from? He says, New York. They
there
came
you
all the
go.
way from New York. They
There
had
you
a
go.
little show
Wow.
here, right
That's
before
great.
Christmas, And so that's what I'm trying to do is get, I want some talent. I like to get some
Yes.
singers, to contact me or contact the station. And I want them for St. Patrick's Day. I want them for Columbus Day. They sing a song. You got a patriotic song for 4th of July and a whole bit, And but we got the Italian Chicks are going to be in Norristown on March the 22nd,
Second.
2 p.m.
Yes.
at Eisenhower Middle School.
Yes.
Okay?
And if they call and pre-order,
Pre-order
you can get
$20.
tickets for just $20 a person.
$20,
yes.
don't worry, it's a donation now, come on.
Right.
Now, bring the family. How about the kids? Can it,
I would suggest 18 and
18,
they're-
oh, yeah, we'll
They-
we have a tape measure there.
They may not be able to understand
Yeah,
what
we-
they're saying, but
You know,
the kids today.
At the Old Norris Theater on Main Street, I think I was around 11 or 12, and I think it was 12 with the children's. Anything above 12 was had to pay adult, And if you would go where you put the money in, below that you wouldn't have to pay. We used to get down like that. so I just think this is great. How about? What do you go in when you go into a school? When you go into a classroom, or you do individual person?
I wear
child?
many hats. I wear many hats as a reading specialist. I work with small groups of children. I work with teachers as a consultant and a resource person. All the testing involved, especially the state PSSA testing, I'm in charge of that. We do have a reading coach in our building as well, so our entire reading program is run by Linda Yaskonich and myself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And who's the principal there? I remember it was Dick Constable. Used to be years ago.
Nicole
There was another-
Poncari.
Who?
Nicole
Yeah.
Poncari
And
is our
the
principal.
children from Cole Manor. I think it was a couple years ago. We went to ShopRite.
Yes.
ShopRite,
yes.
and
yes.
we were,
They
and
took
that
a
was
trip.
an educational thing.
Yes.
We went there, and you had one or two busloads, I think, 2 busloads of children, and they went in there and they had something, a program where they would shop and they learn how to shop and add up and all. That was, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That was an educational thing, right?
Absolutely.
And so, all right, now, how long you been doing this? How long?
This is my 10th year
10th year.
in Norristown School District.
Where you were originally from?
I taught in Upper Darby School District
Upper Darby.
for 17 years, and then I got sick. I had the ovarian cancer.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had some complications, so I was in and out of the hospital for a period of 3 years. Upper Darby couldn't hold my job long, so this is how I ended up teaching in Montgomery County. I live in Delaware County, but
Upper
this is
Darby.
I
know
live
the
in
chief of police over
Springfield,
there. Right.
Springfield, and now this is my 10th year in Norristown.
10th year. All right, now tell me, what schools did you attend in Norristown?
Holy Saviors.
Holy Saviors.
Bishop Kendrick.
Did you have
Bishop Kendrick.
Sister
Okay.
Norbertine was.
Sister Norbertine, yes.
Oh my goodness.
When I was a policeman, I had the safety patrol, Sister Norbertine, and we,
My mom got sick, so then I
Yeah.
just went to Montgo Community College and helped take care of her.
Right.
And
so what, all right, now, what are the key things you look for when a child is, you know, you want to teach him, but how do you break loose where get him to like to read? I don't know how to explain it. How do you motivate him? Maybe that's how do you motivate him?
That's the purpose of Read Across America, to motivate children to want to learn to read and read for enjoyment, as well as learning skills. In the beginning, with the elementary school children, the fundamentals of reading are so important. Word attack skills, decoding skills, along with vocabulary development, comprehension skills. They really have to have a strong foundation in those beginning reading skills. And then
What do you mean like reading skills? You know, break that down for me.
Okay.
Maybe, you know, just it's elementary, right? How about junior high school and high school? Did they have any specialists like that?
I'm in a carpool, and this morning we were talking, I was talking with my other teacher friends, and they were asking me the exact same question. You know, if a child has a reading problem, by the time they get to middle school age, there's so much more expectation placed on these children that it's very difficult for them, especially if they have a reading problem. So because I shouldn't say junior high, middle school and high school are content area and harder material to read, those children who struggle to begin with are going to have an even harder problem once they reach middle and high school. So it's really imperative to get them when they're young, get the solid foundation.
Is it like a follow-up? Like, okay, so you're like a tree, you know, I mean, you just grow over
And
nice,
branch out.
start going, you know, so
Exactly.
maybe it's time to, when they branch out a little bit, maybe a little refresher course, remind them. Did they do that, or not yet?
Well, we do have reading specialists in the middle school and the high school, and there are reading classes. And we've been doing so much in our district to make reading the #1 priority. And we're working very hard.
Would your specialists, do you have anything like the voice, how you project your voice? Or just the words, just words? Does it have anything to do with projecting how to
Not
speak,
particularly
breathe, how to breathe, almost
speech,
like a
but
singer?
you know what, fluency. When we talk about reading fluency, can a child read at an appropriate rate and with intonation, paying attention to punctuation and so forth? So yeah, in that respect, we do pay attention to reading as long as it's fluently.
How about singing?
No, we don't sing, but many
You
of
know,
the
like Frank Sinatra, I heard,
Could be onto
not a
something.
critic, but
we
a guy,
could.
yeah,
like Frank Sinatra. Now, he said, why was he so popular? Why would people like him so much? Because
They
of his
used
diction.
music.
He pronounced
Right.
every word. You know,
Yes.
and you listen to some of his songs, and every word, no matter what song, you know,
Right.
it was always, he pronounced it now. He was no college guy, but he just had a knack to
Right.
do that, you know. And
Well, our music teacher, Mr. Sion, I know that he does a lot with music and reading as well. So we're doing a lot at the elementary level to
I was just reading a little article,
incorporate
no,
it.
a little book about speaking, and it said that if you're going to give a talk or so, don't drink beer or milk. He says that makes mucus, and
Yes.
you know, I didn't drink any milk, and I didn't drink any beer, but I don't know, I got something over here frogging. I don't know what the story is, but I'll have to check with you.
Right.
Right. So now, is there any singing in this show, this comedy?
Yes.
They
will
go
sing.
sing, Way Marie, Way Marie. No?
Possibly. A lot of surprises at.
Go sing a
They
little
will liven the
dance,
place
all
with
right?
song and dance.
don't like
That is
that?
what I'm supposed to tell you. They will liven the place with song and dance.
Oh, dancing too.
But here is something I think may be of interest to you. The host and the MC, her name is Gina Scarda.
Yeah.
After 20 years as a New York Department sergeant.
Oh, I got to know her.
Yes,
gotta
I
know
thought
her.
so.
That, a
Okay.
connection.
Right, all right, get the FOP, get the federal police out there, all the policemen out there. Is she's still on the department?
No, wait to hear this. She retired after 20 years.
Oh,
On the
retired at
NYPD
20.
as a
Okay.
sergeant.
Oh, I retired
She
after-
announced she was going to retire
after 24 years.
to be a stand-up comedian.
What?
Wow.
She said she told her family she was going to retire to be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Excuse me for reading from my notes, but you got to get this. Her very Italian family thought she was going crazy. And they also put together the fact that she was going to retire from the police department, and she suddenly started to use gravy from a jar.
Gravy.
So they
don't call
said
it
she was
gravy.
going
That's
crazy.
a no-no.
It's sauce.
But that's what she wanted me to tell you.
Where you make spaghetti, it's Italian red sauce, or now the pink sauce, it's vodka sauce.
Yes. Oh.
But it's not gravy. Gravy you put in a stew
Gravy's
with
That's
potatoes
right.
and
That's
beef.
right.
That's it.
And these guys, some extra gravy. Well, go next door. You know, come on. All right. So, and there's no men in this show, huh?
No men, 4 women, but the show is for men. Men would enjoy it.
Okay.
Their show is
Oh,
described
sure.
as
Take
being
a look at some of these chicks. I think I want to go there, right? I'll bring my wife with me, though, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Their show is described as being part meatball, part cannoli.
What is it?
Part meatball, part cannoli.
And cannoli.
That's cute.
Maybe you ought to have some cannolis when they fit there, right? And
Absolutely.
so now, how many? There are what? 1, 2,
4.
5, 4.
4 women.
4. And they
All from New Jersey and New York.
New York.
Except the one girl, her name is Carol Ann Valentino. She's originally from Texas.
Oh yeah.
And
Hey, gumari.
they're
How
saying
y'all,
is,
gumari?
what, an Italian girl from Texas? They didn't know
From
how she was going to work out. She does comedy like Carol Burnett. Remember the old Carol Burnett
Oh
show?
yeah, she does that.
Love that.
Yes.
And,
So
now,
it should be a-
ladies, we're talking about this comedy show. It's going to be on March the 22nd, and it's Eisenhower Middle School, and it's only $20. You know, $20. You know, and it's going for a good cause.
Yes.
All right, now we got a couple seconds here. Wrap it up. What do you think now? Give me.
Well, I want to give parents a website to read across America. It's
Okay.
www.nea.read/.
Right.
And on the website, there are many resources for parents, and I hope they visit it.
And what are you going to do? Tell these people.
Please call and pre-purchase your tickets for only $20. You could come out.
25 at the door.
$25 at the door.
Door.
But $20 if you
Right.
pre-order.
If you
That's
want
all
to give it a
do is
little
pre-order.
extra, you can do that too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
For a great cause.
For a great
It's a
cause.
great
100%.
cause. Let me tell you.
Laugh for.
I'm a survivor. She's a survivor, and maybe I hope you're not a survivor, or survivor. So I'm glad that we have good doctors. We're doing research, and that's what this is for, right?
Yes,
And I want to live to be 150. 150 what? No. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and then we're going to close this with We Marie, quando sono. Come on here. Sono per te.
Cendon.
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 Oh. The Italian chicks are going to be in Norristown the 22nd. Come on out there and have a good time, okay? Keep bobbing and weaving, and God bless each and every one of you, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank